to another amazing day to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter. Nick is a really fantastic FileMaker developer who really knows this stuff and how to really take FileMaker to the next level. So we've had him here doing many series thus for us for quite a period of time now. And we're currently working our way through the Build Extreme Report series. You can see on our live broadcast schedule here. We do stream 5 days a week, other than holidays and stuff permitting. So feel free to drop on by. We stream to Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. I also watch all the conversations there. So if you have questions, please ask me. Greatly appreciate them. Wednesday and Thursday, be continuing our Build Extreme Report series with Nick. Today's going to be day 6. Tomorrow's going to be day 7. Friday will be importing, extracting, and exporting a folder of files on FileMaker. Monday, we'll be doing webhooks and FileMaker with the MBS plugin with Christian Schmitz. That should be entertaining. And then Tuesday, we are continuing our Build Extreme Report series. I believe Wednesday is going to be the last day of that. And then we'll start a new mini-series with Nick. So that'll be great. Da-da-da. If you'd like to support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. You might notice this has changed some. We have just recently decided to update our video player for our training series. As a result, though, we've kind of decided to split our training into 3 options. We have the basic, which is all 3 video courses. Doesn't include cert training. We have the mid stuff, which includes an hour of free coaching if you're a new customer, or the calendar kit, as well as all the other extra video training we have, like the certification training, and I think the UI UX training is also in there. And then the FM Training Complete annual subscription also happens to include FileMaker and FMSP Enhanced. So those are the 3 things now. In general, though, if you'd like to get more serious training where you're like, man, these live streams aren't really working out for me, please pick this up. I promise it helps a ton becoming a competent FileMaker developer in your own right, or just bolstering your own knowledge in certain areas. I believe that is the opening spiel completed. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. So what we're doing today? Okay. So today we do an extra day, let's say, because we have some time, because I said that I went fast. So we have some time to do some things that we talked yesterday, and so I decided to do it, right? So we are going to build a filter, with for the report that we already have, right? So we have a report, we build a report, but yesterday, so I did a demonstration of how to get data, how to filter, how to search, right? And how to collect all the data instead of using a standard relationship like a monolithic relationship, direct relationship we use, or like I said, a bucket of IDs, and then we use those IDs and we combine them together, and then we have a very smart way to filter data and get the result, right? So I'm going to expand that. And I said, and I'm going to build this in front of you guys, right? So I'm going to build it. I didn't do anything up front, so it's all without a net, right? So then you will see the difficulty I might have, and the problem I might encounter, and things like this, right? So let me make sure that we quit all the thing. Okay, this no, the email, yeah. Okay. So we can resume this. Okay. So what we want to do, right? We want to, let me move this if I can. Okay. We want to build a filter, when we have this report selection here, right? So we want to build something, a smart way, to select dates, and so we had this selection here, but we want to make something better than this, right? Or we want to have some extension, right? And I want to demonstrate how we deal with dates, how we can deal with dates within a relationship, right? Because I'm going to demonstrate why using something like this, right? Like where I have here, I think. So why using not this one, but teacher item to teacher item. So teacher item, wait, teacher item, okay, here. So why we don't want to use something like this? So let me put this here. We don't want to use this, like the start date to be, the start date to be superior, to be inferior. I never know. And the end date to be inferior of this one, right? So we don't want to use something like this because it's not working. It's simply is not working, and I'm going to explain why it's not working, right? So we're going to use another method, okay? And as you might have, presume that I'm going to do that using a list of values, right? And to do that, and doing that technique, I'm going to explain why it's not working well. Okay, I'm going to explain, and we are going to add another filter on top of this. We're going to use, or if I have some time, I'm going to build a grade filter. So let's do it. So we open the window where we want to build this stuff from. Okay. So for the date here, I'm going to use that technique here. Okay. So the technique I'm going to use is using a while function. Okay. So here we have a while function. So we say, okay, for example, I'm going to put myself, in 23. So I'm going to put myself in January 23, right? So January 23 and January, where's January? Okay, here. Oh, I'm in 24. And so this is the month of, January 23, right? But now you understand why it doesn't work, because I am going to use the same technique that I'm here, but I'm going to select which day I want. So for example, I want to eliminate Saturdays and Sundays from my report, right? I can have it. So all of those dates are the month without Saturday and Sunday. Okay, right? Or I can eliminate, okay, I don't want Wednesday, I don't want Mondays, for example, right? So you eliminate the date you want. I don't want Saturday and Sunday. So you can eliminate the date you want. So now, right, you understand why having a selection between one day to another doesn't work. It doesn't work because if you want to do something like this, good luck, right? Good luck. It's impossible, right? So you can have the standard way from that day to that day. It works, okay? But also you can say, I want to eliminate the day I want, or you can say, oh, I don't want that day and I don't want that day, right? So you eliminate the date you want. You can have a smart way to do it. We can do it manually, okay? So that's how you do, okay? And even if you have a range that is bigger, it still work, right? You will, for 2 years here, I'm going to eliminate all in 2 years, I'm going to eliminate those things, right? I'm going to eliminate those days. You can do the same, eliminate month, eliminate days, eliminate, you can filter the way you want. So I'm going to use that construction here with the day selection, right? So I have this file here. I'm going to show you how it works to copy and paste things, right? So how we can reuse that without difficulties. So the first thing we do, right? So here we have a value list, right? So we are going to copy that value list here, right? And we are going to paste here the value list. Okay. Oh, okay. Take some time to come. So I have the value list of my day selection, right? So I have the value list. So now that I have the value list, I'm going to create those fields, Okay. So I already have the fields in my, in my, I already have those two fields here, right? Start date and end date, but I don't have this one, which is a day of week. So I am going to copy this field here, which is a global field, right? And I'm going to paste this here, right? So now I have it. So I'm going to rename those to make sure that they have the same name as the other way. Because doing this, we eliminate problems when we're going to import those are, this construction, right? So I'm going to, now that I have exactly the same name, I have this one with the same name, this one with the same name, and this one with the same name, okay? I'm going to copy this one, okay? So I have this one, the copy. So I'm going to copy this and paste here, right? So now normally everything works. So I'm not going to explain that how this works. Maybe at the end if I have some time, but we have a video on the while function. Can go, maybe Marge, you can copy paste the link, the while function, right? So we already have one explanation how this works. Okay, so and I'm not going to do it right now, but you saw how it is easy to just copy paste things. Just you make sure you have the same name, reusing the same field that I have here. I already have them, but the same name, you copy paste that field that was missing, and then you paste this, right? And I remove this. So now I have a very functional system, right? Here. So now I'm going to copy and paste this, right? This one, and I'm going to paste it here. And you see that it worked pretty well. Okay. So everything works. Okay. Oh, hold on. Everything works. Right. So I have my date selection here, and I can select what's missing? Oh yeah, I need to attach the field. Sorry. Attach the field here. And now we have the selection. And if everything works, I can display here the while function, right? And make sure this will work. Okay, so it will, it works, right? So we have from that day to that day. Okay, I can increase a little bit more. Okay, so it works, and I can eliminate days. So now you see that we have a very cool, date selection. Okay, so now that I have this list of dates, what can I do with this, right? Remember, I want to make sure that I'm searching for records, right? I'm searching for records. But now that I have this system here, you understand that it's no longer possible, okay, to use the perform find. Why? Because I don't have from that day to that day. I have it from that day to that day. I have it, but I also have a smart filter that eliminates days from the list, from the selection. So I cannot say from that day to that day because I have days missing. And I want to make sure that the system will automatically eliminate those records, right? So how we do that, right? So here, so far, in my script here, the generate report. Okay. I was using a standard perform find. I was picking the start date, end date, then I was making like standard FileMaker dots, from that date to that date, dot, 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 the typical FileMaker search, right? Like something like this, from here, dot, 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 from here, right? So on the search, So I'm not going to use that technique anymore because it's no longer valid and it's not working, okay? So I'm going to eliminate these two, okay? So I'm going to deactivate this two, and I'm going to replace that with something else, okay? So I'm going to use, a relationship to the rescue, like many times, right? So relationship is the best filter ever you can have in FileMaker, the best search tool ever you can have in FileMaker. So we are going to here, right? I'm going to have a link, a field, okay? I call them always transfer IDs because, but this will be that will be like a dates, let's say. Let's put dates, range. Let's put that range. Okay. Let's create that range. Link range. Okay, so now it's a global field because why a global field? Because we are in a network, right? And we want to make sure that the selection we are going to make, right, is a selection that only I'm going to see. And that's why we use globals. We use globals because whatever we put in that field will be used by the system, and this will be displayed on the screen on the layout only with my data. So somebody else can use at the same moment can use the filter, and it won't see what I'm going to do. Okay. And of course, global field, it won't say the record is busy, right? Because that's something we want to avoid. So now that I have this global field here, the link, I'm going to use this, okay, to filter my stuff. So I am in the TO4, right? I'm in a TO4. So I'm positioning myself on the TO4 here, and I'm going to create a new relationship. Right? This relationship is from teacher item to teacher item. I'm going to make that, to the same table. Okay. So it points to itself. Okay. And I'm going to say this is dates, right? And of course, in my name, I'm saying that this is a self relationship, okay? And at the same time, I'm going to use a go to related record, right? To use that field, that relationship, right? And of course, I'm pointing to the teacher item. So from teacher item to teacher item, I'm using the date. I'm going to use the foreign key of this relationship will be the date, and it pointing to itself using a go to a record. So now when I have this, so you understand now the beauty of this. Instead of having a cumbersome greater than and less than and something that is not going to work anyway, I'm going to say whatever the range, right? Whatever the range with the date, right? So let's see. Now I have my relationship done, pointing to itself, right? So, and I'm going to try it, okay? So to try, it's very easy, right? You put a button, try. It's a single script step, right? And no, it's not a single script step. It's a script because I have two things I want to do, right? So we're going to say this is a try, okay? Just to try and demonstrate how this works, okay? Why putting this? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the field. I'm going to set the field. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm going to set the field. I'm going to set the range, or relationship primary key, right? I'm going to set this field with anything with the content of the while function. Okay. I'm going to transfer the content of the while on that field. Okay. And then I'm going to use the go to read record, right? And I'm going to use that self go to read record relationship with using the current layout. And I say, I show only the related records, right? And match the current record only, right? So now that I have this two field, the field in this, okay? So I have my try button, okay? And I'm going to make this sure. So I have my try button here, okay? Okay. So now let's try, okay? I have 10,000 record here, right? I have from the first, right? The 1st January to the 31st of January. Let's say I want all days, okay? Try. So I have 252 records. Let's see, right? If that's true, right? Let's see if that's true. So how we can do this, just go there and show the dates. So they should all be in January here, right? So let's see if that's true. So you see the dates moving here. So I'm going there, you see, they're all in January. So we're good, right? If I change this and I say I want February and I do a try, I have nothing in February. Oh, because I'm 23. Okay, let's change the year. Oh, good. Okay, let me see something. Okay, so we have a bug here. I mean, we have a problem. So I'm going to check what's going on. Okay, so you display this. Make sure we have nothing here. Maybe because I have nothing in 23. Okay, so let's say I want 12. I want all the year. Okay, I have something here. So I have a year here, right? Pretty much. And I'm going to try. So I have 3,000. Oh yeah, it's cleaning this. Okay, I know why. Okay, this is why this must be. So this is my fault. This field here I'm using must be a global field and it's not. So this why is not working, right? It's not working because it's not a global field. It has to be a global field because otherwise I need the result on this to be available all the time. Okay. So now if I do try, it's not cleaning, right? It's not cleaning. So because I was switching record. When you say go to red record, you go away from the current record you are, and this wasn't available anymore because it wasn't a global field. Okay, so now it's a global field, so we good. All of those is available on all the fields, all the records, because it's a global. If it's not a global, so this is important, right? If it's not a global, and I do this, okay, so, and I do this, right? This is available only in that record. See, I'm going record is available only in that record. So when I say try, I'm going to another record and then I lose my stuff here. So that's why it needs to be a global field. Okay. And I forgot to do that. So now we have a global. So we fix the bug. Okay. So This is, so try, and now this stays always. And I have this on all my records, right? So now I'm good. So if I said now I have from the 18th of January to the 18th of March, right? I have 3 months. And I want to remove the Wednesday, the Tuesday, and the Thursday, right? So if I say try, I will have less record here. Boom. Now I have 400, right? If I remove the Mondays and the Saturday and the Sunday, now I have 157. So because the relationship we try to find records only based on those dates. So I have a relationship, right? So I have here. So I want you to understand why the relationship with a greater than and stuff like that cannot work, because it's going to do this, right? So it's going to do this. So let's do the same. It's going to do this, dot, 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 and it's going to do this, right? Pretty much we can do the same here, but if I do this, I have 573 a record. Why? It's because I didn't eliminate the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So pretty much I have the same amount of record of this, right? I have more record here. I don't know why. Maybe because it's eliminating a day, I think. But anyway, because this is not including, it's starting on the 19th. So it's starting on the 19th here. That's why. So because the selection I don't want to include the day I'm in, so it's okay. We can simulate the same, right? Modify the last, it's doing from the 19, right? So now I have the same amount of records, okay? So pretty much from the 19 to the 18th of March. So this is 561 record. If I do a find, right, I have the same amount of records. Yes, but if you do this, right, now I have much less because I removed those 3 days. Try to do the same with a perform find. You understand? Or try to do the same with a relationship with greater than and lesser than, right? Greater than the start and lesser than the end, It's not going to work, right? Here, now, thanks to this, I have the perfect filter. So I'm going to, so now I tried it. I see that it works. So we debug it, so we had some issues and we fixed them, right? So now I can go to my report, eliminate this, okay, and do this. I want to use that relationship, right, and show in the current record. And of course, don't forget to put the set field here, right? Because I need to set this primary key, whatever whatever this while function will return, the list of dates that this function will return. Okay, so this is important. So let's try it. So I'm keeping everything like this. I'm going to remove the try button on the side. Okay, but I'm going to keep this, right? So let's try it. So I'm going there. I have a teacher. I want my teacher report. I want to eliminate the weekend, for example, from that day. If I continue, right, the system will find automatically the amount of record I need, right? And we'll do the import and the replacing and stuff like this, okay? So do we have any question while this will do the
There
oh, I
is
did, yeah. Go ahead.
Uh, it's kind of like comments. I don't know if this is necessarily a question, David. There's no question on YouTube, and there's no question on Twitch. Could use relationship greater unless in conjunction with a global day of week field.
No, how you do that? It's how you do that. So you need because do you have a field with the name of the day? You know what I mean? So you could do that, but you need a field with the name of the day. And then you can do that. Yeah, but it's why you want to make the thing complicated? Because you will see that I'm not done. that only a part of it. Okay. So it's on your. Let's stop this because I have way too many people here. So let's stop this and let's stop everything and. So let's clean everything here and nuke everything. Show all. Yeah. Show all. Okay, and delete all because I have too many people. So it's too slow. So I'm going to eliminate some people here. Okay, so I want this and so I have 27 people. Okay, so I'm going to generate this with 27 people, which would be better, right? So I'm going to generate this, so that will be way faster because I have much less people, right? Right, it's faster. So yeah, you could do that greater than and less than and using or a field that returns the name of the date, the day name, right? The day name. I'm using short names on the day, so you need to short it, right? I'm using tu, wed, few and sun and sat, right? So you have to, you need to take care of this, right? So yeah, okay. So here we have test one. So that was without the weekend, right? So that without the weekend from 18 to without the weekend. So if I generate again and I say, okay, let's include the weekend, right? So you will see that the report will be slightly different because it will do the calculation based, with those items, right? So with a larger amount of items, so I will have a larger amount of what's the name results, right? So okay, final report. So this is test two. Okay, so test two. So let's see what's test two doing. Okay, so here I have 299, now it's 439, 630, that's the same because it doesn't have 140, 180. So we have different different results because we have more things, right? On the two. The two is greater than the one, which is normal because here I didn't include the weekend, here I include the weekend, right? So we saw that it did the job, right? Because I restrict the record, right? So yeah, go ahead.
You need 3 fields? Question mark.
No, here I need in my relationship, here in this relationship, I have 1 field. So that's why I say why you want to make it complicated when we can make it simple. I have a bucket of IDs, right? I have a bucket of IDs, a bucket of dates, and so no, I have, let's say, 10 dates, 15 dates, and all the dates that are there the relationship will try to find records matching the dates here. So automatically it will reduce, it will make a found set based on this bucket of dates. Okay. I might not have in my bucket right here, I might not have record on the 1st of 22, on January 22. I might not have record, but I don't care. It won't find any, right? You understand? We don't care if we have or not the record on the other side, right? It will try to find, and it will show the one that matched that list on the other side, right? So, and if when you could do greater than, less than, and do something like this, so I can do it if you want for you. So you need a field. You will need to create a field that do that, the day name of the date. And then you need to say left, this, and free. Okay? So you need a field. So first you need to create a field that do that. Okay? On all your records. So you add, I have 10,000 records here, 10,000 on this table. So you add an extra calculation that is useless, because here you will argue, yeah, but Nick, you have a calculation here. Yeah, but on the global field, I have the calc on the global field. So why this doesn't work? Oh, yeah. It's on the global field. So yeah, I have a calc, but it's on the global. So I'm not, the impact, the weight impact on the performance, on the weight of the file. I don't create data. I don't create a field. Here it's a global. I'm just creating something in, unique. It's a list, but I don't create on each 10,000 records additional data to use that in the relationship, right? But it's not done. You know that I have a demo, right? So now what I want to do, okay, so do we have any question, or I can continue?
We have a question real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Think don't need the try button since the data global fields are in the calculation of the while global field?
No, the try was to just do, the try was to do that part, to try that to make sure that I was getting the records I want to get. The try was to just testing. It's a test, you can call it test, test. It was a test to just test those two things. But then I copy paste, and because I didn't want to do all of this all the time to test it, I just wanted to test those two to see, right? The try button was for this, so let's go. The try button was, I was getting the result here, and the try button, look here, the amount of record, boom, I've less. See, if I do this now, I have more. If I change the date here, if I change the date, try, right? It changed. If I change this, I said this, try, it changed this amount. So it was just to see if I get a change and something that makes sense. Okay, it was just a try, test. Okay, so I don't need that because all of this now is working and is now part of my complete process, right? But now I have another one. I want something else. Okay, I want something else. I want, right, to be able, okay, to get the grade. All my people, they have grades. So let's say I want to select only one grade, two grade of, I want to select a list of grades. Okay. So I have 15, 20 minutes to do it. So I'm going to try to do it in that small, period of time. But I wanted to build it in front of you to make sure you see the process, So I got a bug, I fixed the bug, and thanks to this, thanks to that technique, I put that here, I have my try button, and I saw that I had a bug, right? Without this, putting the logic directly inside a big stuff like this, I will never find a bug, or maybe in 2 hours, right? Here I found it immediately because I had my try button. So now I want, right? I want to select out of my list of grade. I have all my grade list here. So, I have a table with all my grades. I'm doing always this, and out of this, I build a value list, right? So, but here, the grade value list is based on whatever I have here. I'm not creating a value list in the what's the name? In the value list. I'm not creating that hard coded. No, I'm creating a table. I'm putting my grades, right? Because now, thanks to this, I have an ID. Each grade has an ID. So thanks to this ID of the grade, and all the guys here has a grade. Okay. All those payments have a grade. So I want to display all my grades. I want a list when I can display all my grades, right? This is annoying. So let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to name this D, and I'm going to grade. And this is a Cartesian link. It's Cartesian. So why? Because I want them all. I want all of them, right? Teacher. So I want them all, okay? Yeah, I have a D, additional D, okay. I want them all. So what a Cartesian link, I'm getting whatever field here with whatever field on the other side, and I am choosing this cross, right? So doing this pretty much is having a link that shows all. It will show all records without distinction. That's the Cartesian link, right? So now, thanks to this, I have a nice looking, beautiful grade whole. Okay. I know it doesn't look pretty, but it's okay. It's not what we're judging here. So now I have a grade list. So what this do, you can see I have all my grades, all of them. Okay. So maybe I have more. I can put their scrolling bar. Yeah, I have more. Okay. So I have my grades here, all of them. But now I want, okay, to make, so I'm complicating a little bit the thing, right? Because I want something to look great. I could have another checkbox like this. I could if I want, right? But I don't want to do that. I want to show you, how we can do something pretty, okay? So pretty much what I want to do, okay, I have a file here. I want to do something like this. Something like this, right? It looks better than a checkbox, okay? So let's have fun a little bit, okay? So I'm going to replicate that behavior, and you will see that it's not that complicated. I'm going to the C100 layout here, this layout here, and I'm going to transfer that technique here, okay? That's that button, okay? That button, right? So this one is this is the add contact, yeah. So I'm going to pretty much copy that button here, but first I'm going to copy the script here. I have a script that do everything for me, right? So I have a script that do that for me. So I'm going to copy the 590 frame. So that is a good, so it's add contact, this one. So I'm going to copy that script. Yeah, it will break many things, but I don't care, because I'm going to fix it. But I have the logic and all the logic here, right? So this is how, it's a good demonstration to see how we can transfer, right, a technique, something we have on one file to another. So I'm going to paste that script here, okay? So this is add grade, right? This is add grade. So many things are broken, but we are going to fix it, okay? It's not a problem. So first, we want to remove this, and we are going to rename this grade ID, okay? Grade ID. And we are going to open this. And what do we want here, right? So the grade ID, we want that to be this one, the Cartesian link, okay? So we want this, pretty much, okay? So, yeah, but this one we don't need. It was for the other one. We don't need that. So let's say grade ID here. So let's fix this, okay? So we have, it's a grade ID, and we want the T104, sorry, this one. So we have it, okay? So now we fix this. It's also grade ID, right? And we are going to fix this. So it's a grade ID, and this T104D, and we're going to say this is grade ID. Okay, so we pretty much rename this and replace this, and this. Okay, so far so good. So I'm going to replace, one by one, right, with the same name. Make sure that we have the same name. So this is easy. So we change this. This is grade ID. It's a good way to see how we do this, right? It's very simple. And now this I don't need. And this, I don't need. I just have to refresh a button, okay? An object that I'm going to name selected. Okay, I need to refresh an object because I'm hiding the gray icon. Okay, so it was looking like crazy to do the replacement, but it's not that, I didn't even think about. I just rename. It's I didn't even think how it works. I don't care. I just rename with the right names. New grade. Make sure that the names are the same, right? So now we have the selection. So I have this, So now that I have this, I can create a button, okay? Okay, that will do this, that use that script, okay? The button, and I want this button transparent, okay? Make sure that we have it on all transparent, I say. Transparent, transparent, transparent on all the states. So now I have this nice button here, and I'm going to put it here. I want all my row to be a button, and make sure that the button is inside, right? Okay. So now that I have this, and I can put that on the button. Now that I have my grade here, I want the icon, right? So the icon is somewhere here. I want this icon here. I have two icons, okay? So I have two objects. So I'm going to take this and paste this here. So now I have this, okay? And of course, I can make it smaller because, you know, the UI is smaller. So we just want a smaller one, and we can reduce the size to 8, right? And I'm going to remove the formatting that I don't need for that purpose, right? And here I have a hidden state. I have a hidden state, right? And the hidden state, going to rename my object because this object needs to be refreshed in my script, and I'll name it selected. So, you know, I don't need that. It's the new grade that match the T104D ID, right? So now, in pretty much no time, I understand, you know, I have the habit, I build the thing and stuff like that, but how to transfer something that is cool, right? Without a lot of difficulties, right? So I didn't even think, I paste a script, right? I paste a button, I create a button, and I paste an icon, right? And I, you know, so now I have, let's make sure this is not editable, right? Now I have this. Looks better because this, I can imagine that I have, I don't know, 20, you know, if you have something like this, you use checkboxes when you have something predictable. This is predictable, Monday to Sunday, predictable, right? It's not going to change anytime soon. This, I might have 1, 2, I might have 20, you know? So that's why it's cool to have something like this and not having a dancing and, you know, a checkbox, which look bad, by the way, by definition, right? So now you can see, right? So I have a great selection, but what happened here? What happened here, right? It happened that I'm setting a variable with IDs. I have 3 IDs, right? I have 3 grades selected. So let's say I have none. Bam, go away. Now I have this, this, and this. Grade ID, bam. I have 3. If I have 4, I have 4. If I put 5, I have 5. If I remove this one, I have 4. So the script I copy and paste, I already demonstrated many times. If I have the ID in my list, that means if it's already checked, this will get rid of it in the list. And if it's not, this will add it in the list, right? So see the script here, when I click here, is not in the list. So this is the condition. And if it is in the list, this is the condition, because it is. You understand why I cannot rely on their, what's the name? I cannot rely on their name. Because if I say pattern count on grade A, it will say that I have patent count grade A on this one and patent count grade A on this one, right? Grade A is part of this, this, and this. So I won't have any way to separate those three, right? Now, I'm not dealing with the names. I am taking the IDs. This is what interests me. This, when I click here, it's the ID I have in memory here, not the name. I don't care about the name. BE0F1D, BE0F1D. I have no names. I have the IDs. That's what I want in my list. Okay. So now that I have my selection here, you understand what I'm going to do, right? You understand it. Not only I have a filter based on this day to this day, removing those dates, but now I want some grades. Not all. I want a grade selection, right? So I'm going to ask my best friend, their relationship and say, okay, yeah, I have a link on French, but I have also a link of grades. I have two fields now, two globals, where I'm going to put a bucket of dates and a bucket of grades. Okay. So now here, this relationship here, right? I'm going to rename it because it's no longer the same, right? It's no longer the same, but I'm going to build another one. So let's name this one E, right? And put here a D. And the D, okay, I'm going to create a new one. It's the date, it's the grade, it's the date and the grade. So I have two fields. So when I have multiple fields, I'm putting that symbol here to tell me, right, that it's a different one. Okay. Or you can say to different them, you can put grade if you want, whatever, we can do that. We can say it's IDF grades. Okay. Because that is the field I'm going to use. So whatever the name. So I am in the same table, right? And I'm going to build a relationship, right? I want the link where I have my grade IDs linked to grades. And at the same time, I'm going to link this with the dates. So now I have two buckets, a bucket of grade IDs and a bucket of dates. So this relationship now, is, and I'm sorry, but you can try with multiple predicate, 5 or 6 predicate if you want, greater than, less than, but I'm sorry, but to understand this, it's much simpler, right? Than to say, I want this, I want that, to have 5 or 6 different. I have a bunch of grades, bunch of dates, and deal with it, right? So now I'm going to modify my try, okay? Try button. My try button, my test, whatever, I'm setting 2 fields. First, I have the link of French. And secondly, remember, this global variable where I'm putting the list of the selected grades IDs. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to set that field with the list of this. So pretty much, so let's do this. Here, I have the range, and here I have the grades, my two fields, okay? And of course here, I am no longer using the TO4C. I'm going to use the other one that uses the two, right? I create two relationships. So this is a relationship that uses the two fields, okay? This one and this one, okay? So let's try it. So I have here from that day to that day, let's put those, no. And I want those. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do the try, this is my 5 ID. So it's, let's put that smaller. Okay. This is my 5 IDs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 ID. If I put 6, bam, I want one additional. If I remove this one, I have 2, right? So far, so good. So now I have a bunch of dates and a bunch, of grades. And my try button works because if I remove grades, if I click try, now I have 125. Let's try to see if it is the case, right? Let's try it. Let's try if this is the case, okay? If my result is true. So to do the test, I have this technique here, which is cool, where I'm putting, I say, okay, I have a test on dates and I have a test on grades. So I'm putting those two here. Let's see if it's true. I said I want B1 and C. B1C, 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 B1C. And I said I want between 9 and 12. Okay? So 9, 11, 10, 9, 10, 11, 11, 10, 11, 10, 10, 10, 11. So I don't have 1, 2, 3. So, I am between 9 and 12, the month. Let's change the date. Let's reduce. I want only 2 days. Okay, maybe this is too small. A month. Okay? Okay. And I have it. And I can sort by date if I want to make sure, 9/29. So that the first that he found. So I have none on 27, but the first he found was on 29. Okay? But it's part of my list. The 29 is here. It's part of my list. Okay? So he found a record with 29. Then he found another record with 10/01. He found a record, so he found records like this. And of course, if I sort again with this, I see that I have, B1, you see? So it works. So if I add another grade and I do try, now I have my records with the A included. If I remove the C, now I have those two. If I remove the B1 and I put a B, I have this. It changed the records, right? Okay, so you understand the power of this, right? Because now I have the number of records here that I need to deal with, right? So, and now you understand this is just so we have a multiple action here using relationship, not using perform find, and using the same technique. And tomorrow we are going to continue because it's 5:07, but so I have a nice selection here. I use a while function to say, okay, I want from that day to that day, remove those dates, right? Then, so I have two predicates, reduce the number of records. I'm reducing the number of records. And then in my script, in my generate report script, right, I'm going to use all the IDs. I found the 56 IDs. I'm going to select them, right? Because I can select them. I will select them. List of this. Those are my 56 people. Okay. I can check, do I have 56 people? Yes. So that means I have 56 records, the list of teacher IDs, the summary field, remember the summary field returns me 56 IDs, right? And then I'm going to use those IDs to say, I want you to do calculation only based on those people, right? So if we have any questions that now, first of all, I want to know, did you get it or are you totally lost?
We have two questions. People are typing a response to your question,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll ask the questions first. Could add the grade and range of days in the while global calculation field?
Can we add?
Can you add the grade and range of days in the while global calculation field?
Why you want to do that? No need. It's two different things because I need two different fields. This is coming from the while and this is coming from the selection, the click, right? This is a result of the combination of these three things here. I put there, and this is a result of the clicking, right? And then I put there. So I don't see the advantage of having one field, for the two. You mean having a key that do this, right? So you say you want to do something like this. Okay, you want to have something like this. Stupid me. It's not what I want to do. Okay. So you want to do something like this. Okay. You want to do this, right? No, it won't work. I did a demo on the relationship. So we need to watch the relationship course I made. That won't work. The results that you will get with this will be the opposite of what you want to do. This, using two fields, so let me, using two fields, it will say, find whatever this and this at the same time. That means the records you will find match the two at the same time. If there's one on the 29th, if you find a record on 29th, that record to appear needs to have one of those IDs. Otherwise, even if it's on the 29th, don't show it. Don't. Okay? If it's not part of it, if you find somebody on the 29th, you found a record on 29, but it doesn't have those IDs, it won't show it. If you do this technique, and I think that's what you mean, it will say, find me all of those people and find me all of those people. It will do an addition. I can demonstrate to you. Let's build another record, another, a test. Okay. A test under teacher item. Okay. And I use the grade. So we use the grade. So you use the same for this, right? The grade for this and dates, right? So we use the same here like this way. So here, with the normal system, I have 143 records, right? So if I do this, I have 143 records. If I use this, and I'm going to, now I have a doubt. Maybe you're right. Hold on. That will be fine. So how many records I have with this? Okay. Value counts. 143. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes, because we use the same field. Yeah. Okay. It works. You're right. We could have done this. So you have one field that, yeah, you're right. Because it's the same source. Okay. So, what's the name here? It's the same source, you know. So, and yeah, it works because it's not. What is the case when it doesn't work? Oh, the opposite way, it's the opposite way. When you have the same field here and two different fields here, right? So in that case, it works. Yeah, you're right. Congratulations, it works. So you can do that, you know. So it's doing the same. Both are doing the same technique. But anyway, but it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good demo. Yeah, it's good. It works. You can do that. It's the same. So do we have another question?
Possibly related to the David Angel question, which was the last question you just answered. In this example, we are searching for specific dates and specific grades. So we have dates and grades as predicates in a relationship. Yesterday, we had an example when you would not put an additional predicate in the relationship for each filter parameter. Can you clarify when you need to add an additional predicate and when you don't need to?
Because yesterday I didn't have this duals. Yesterday I was doing a perform find, right? So I was using a perform find. So it's but it wasn't that. But I didn't have this. So I don't know if I understand the question, but we need two predicates when you want to match two different type of data. Okay. So here, for example, here I need to match those two predicates because I want to reduce. You might find somebody with the date, but it needs also to match the grade. Okay. That's why you need two, right? Otherwise it doesn't work. I mean, it won't do the filter that I want the thing to do. Right. So I don't know if I understand the question very well. Is that the question on Discord?
Yes, it is. It is a
Let
little
me
bit
see.
up. It's from Stu.
From Stu. Always good questions too. Yeah, because it's different. Okay, so because but that unfortunately we have it's 517. So yesterday is not on the same place. Okay, because now that we have this, this is to collect the buckets of ID we need, right, to do the calculation on this side. Whatever. Where there's I quit it. On this side, we need to calculate this. This is calculated. The total pad is calculated based on the number of people I'm going to find here. I mean, number of record I'm going to find here, okay, it will be per people based on my bucket of 143. It will say, okay, for that guy, the sum will be this, and for that guy, the sum based on the buckets. That means, you know what I mean? So, but also yesterday I have two predicates, by the way, because yesterday I was using this. I was using that relationship here, which is this one. I have two predicates. It was based on the ID of the teacher and the bucket of my 143 record, right? That is my 143 record, and this is the teacher, the teacher ID, that the guy. So out of this guy, he will look the bucket of 143 records and say, okay, I found 20 records or 10 records out of those 143 that match that guy, right? And that is the total. Then you go to the next guy and say, okay, I found 20 records for that guy on my 143 record, the bucket, this bucket, right? I found 20, and that is the total of this guy, right? So I give the system a bucket, and then I say, okay, in that bucket, how many for this guy, how many for this guy, how many for this guy? This is what this relationship is doing. The other one, this guy here. This was only to make a selection. This was to do to itself, and to use a go-to record to build a found set, okay? To select the buckets, right? Then I'm taking the buckets, and I go to the other table, and I say, okay, out of these buckets, how much for this guy? How much for Benson? How much for Porter? How much for Benina? How much for Hamilton? Right? You understand? And then you have the total. So all of this to show you that you don't need to have everything is pretty much on the relationship, the selection, and everything is ID based, ID or dates, okay? But it's ID based, especially here, So tomorrow we are going to move everything. So we're going to continue playing with this, right? And but today, one of them demo was to build a filter like this without a lot of difficulties, So pretty much, So this is 440. 440. Okay. So it was to build, this type of filter, without difficulty, because now I have one working completely. So let's show, generate report, teacher, I want those, I don't want the weekend, continue. See how clean it is, right? It's clean, it works, boom. And now I have this. And tomorrow, I think we do the server. We have another question from Lynn in Austin. Yesterday, you did a find to get record. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the same. Exactly. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not using perform find.
And then go ahead, sorry.
Because the perform find, the problem of the perform find, it's impossible to do something like this. Try it, but I don't even try to do that with perform find, because it's how you eliminate a day. You say I want from that day to that day, but I don't want Saturdays, on the perform find, it's I don't know. It's I found it much simpler to do that with a relationship anyway, using a while function to get this working, and I have a list of things that dump in a field, and boom, I have a relationship, right? Instead of making relationship and combine with the while, maybe all could be in the while function. Yeah. While combine this and this and this in the while function. Why? Doesn't work. It won't work. Can you imagine? You want to see the while? Okay, let's see the while. Um, you want to make that more complicated? Or, start the day, that the day of week I need. And then I say, if the pattern count like this, yeah, but I don't like a big giant monolithic thing that do everything because you need 2 months to get it work, and it will work only on one case scenario and not on another one, right? So let's say if I want another filter, what you do, change the while? No, my while is doing a function, right? My while do this. Then I have this with my button and my IDs and stuff like that. And then I have one or two fields, depending, because we know that works. So yes, it's very Wednesday morning, my time. Okay, then found something new. It's clearer for me to see with the two separate fields. Yeah, brother man. Yeah, he said it's clean. It's cleaner to have two different fields for the relationship, because you know what you do. You don't have to, because this was easy to do because you could see the difference, right? You could see the difference between dates and IDs. But if you have, let's say, IDs here and IDs here, you have no way to distinguish them and stuff like that. So doing the selection list of grade in less than 5 minutes. Wow. No, could use a repeating field to relate to the table. No, David Angel, repeating field is not for that anymore. It was in the 90s, 80s, but not anymore. Use a table, use a poll. Yeah, leave alone the repeating fields.
Okay, then I have one more question, then we are done. I just wanted to grab it because we don't get YouTube questions very often.
Yes.
You are generating two global list fields, and then you are using each of them as a multi-key field and relationship.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
a GTRR limits the records to that meet both criteria, right?
Yes. Yes. The relationship is doing the magic to combine both and to gather only the records that match those both together on the multi-key. That's a good. I don't know who said that, but that's a magic, because people I have all those and all those, and at the same time deal with it. Find all the 29 that match at least one of those for all of those, and in no time, click, in no time. I don't have even and I have 10,000 records, right? I have 10,000 records. I don't have 2 records, right? I have 10,000, which is not small, right? So yeah, it's a good question. It's a good no question, but it's a good remark. It's a good remark that yes, I'm doing a multi-value, a multi-predicate, multi-value, multi-field relationship, which is and that is a demonstration of the power of FileMaker. It's extremely powerful. So when you start dealing with something like, so now, okay, what was interesting to learn today is how you combine all of those things. How you build something. I build something completely new. It's like this. I have date selection, days selection, grade selection, and then behind this I have a report. So you use the technique, but we have a commonality here, is the relationship. The relationship gives me the list of this. The relationship gives me the list of this. The relationship gives me the list of the buckets that I'm going to use in the report. And again, in the report, the relationship is going to give me the summary, the totals for every single guys. Okay. And always I dump everything. So, you heard me a lot saying the same thing. List of values, list of values, the buckets, list of values always. And then relationship. My scripts pretty much are doing pretty much nothing because it's not interesting to me. The scripts, I import, I'm setting fields, I'm not doing crazy things, right? Loops and no, it's import set field, import set field, import set field, and replace, boom, boom, boom. And those guys are doing all the magic. The relationship, the TO, this one, right? This one is doing the magic for me, right? So that, because this is not slow, this is slow because it is the magic. And that's why tomorrow, if I have time, I think I will, we are going to transfer everything on the server, but I'm going to prepare it for tomorrow. Then it will be ready, right? I'm going to explain how it works, but so pretty much, I'm pretty sure I'm transferring everything the way it is built. I'm transferring everything over there. I just need to transfer this from the local to the server. This and this, because I have two things. Okay. So FM only has and relationship and doesn't have or. It depends. We can do or, but it's complicated. Okay, so that's another story. So it's not a story. Einstein. No. Yeah, I know I'm dealing with complicating things, right? So I try to explain things that are complicated, but sometimes you need to be exposed to something else than just, a set field and loops, right? So, and especially when you want to do something like this, right? So, right. So, okay. So I think we're good.
I think we are good.
Okay. So have a great day. So see you tomorrow.
Yep. See everyone tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.